Well, guys, I've been talking to myself for the past 20 minutes here, thinking that it's on video. Meanwhile, it's on time-lapse video. I've got another tree down here after the winds we've had over the past few days. And let me start all over again. We are off to see if we can get a photo of some of the snow that we have here. This is going to be an interesting mission getting over here, because we've got snow. George, to have snow doesn't happen very regularly. Camera's been on time lapse for the past 20 minutes. Now I've figured out why I couldn't zoom in while recording. So anyway, what I was saying earlier is that I didn't even know there was snow. I was in the room still, and I look on one of the groups, South African group, that shows a lot of photos of traveling, nature and mountains and stuff, small towns, and I see some local person that posted photos of George, of the snow in the mountain. I responded and said, yeah, I live in George and I didn't even know there is snow. So thanks for letting me know. I go out of my room, lo and behold, we've got snow on George Peak as well as Cradock. Now George Peak is 220 meters lower. Look at those trees that are down there. I just want to see something here, guys. Why can't I zoom in here like I used to always? Heap of trees down there, just as I was expected. Pine trees and wattle trees are going to be the first trees to go down. Now I sincerely hope this thing is recording and not on time lapse. I still haven't fathomed out why I can't zoom in today. Not the end of the world, but I'm just used to being able to do that. So I'll be back again just now. Sun's coming out, so we've got a chance of seeing George Peak with its snow. Because it was open earlier and now we've got clouds over it. I may just be on the perfect spot for a photo, or on a reasonable spot, and I'll take the photo here and see. I really would like to zoom in here. Well, now I've figured something else out. So if it still hasn't been recording, and it should be recording now, then at least we're at a spot where we should be able to see the George Peak just now, which is covered in clouds, but there is some snow on it actually. I just hope these clouds don't actually make it. I hope these clouds don't make it go away. I think I've just held my finger over the mic, possibly again here, which I've had to learn the hard way somewhere along the line. I've never even known where the mic is on this little camera, and on one or two of the previous videos I obviously had my finger over it, because one moment the sound is fine, next moment there's virtually no sound. Look, I don't know if you're going to notice it, but virtually all those pine trees there, let me see something here. All those pine trees were still standing, well, and the tops of them have broken off after this wind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and counting. We take you to another spot here. George Peak is starting to open up. Almost time for a little photo maybe, but let me show you this. And I believe it's been gale force winds in Cape Town as well. Hello, pine trees down, like you would expect. And this is in the visible section, this stripe here. Imagine how many are down inside there where we can't even see them lying on the ground now. You can just see the tops of all those trees are down. They're probably going to have to come and open this up at some stage again, because of this whole stretch here is a water pipe. And they do, strangely enough, they do maintain it on the odd occasion, even if it's stuck here in parts that nobody knows about. Let me just switch this off and see if I can take a photo. I'll take it off now, switch it off now. Now that could be fairly nice. Let's at least just get one photo to remind ourselves that there was snow on George Peak, which we don't often have. Snow on Cradock Peak, yes. George Peak, very seldom. Those tops there were still there. Tops of those trees were still there on Sunday, and they're off now. Most of them. The other gale force wind we had was on Saturday. Today is Tuesday. I had a strong wind on Saturday, so I think a couple of them blew off on Saturday. Certainly they were there last week. Now they're all off. They're the ones that burnt down. And if it wasn't for my little GoPro, I would have been wasting my time here trying to take any decent photo, because it is drizzling and my other camera isn't waterproof. Now, is it worthwhile waiting here to see if those clouds are going to go away to take a photo, and to stop drizzling so I can take a photo with it? Of course I can take a photo with the GoPro. Only reason I wanted to with the other one is because it's got a few more megapixels, so one could be able to crop it if one wanted to. But this is very, very interesting to see. It's still nice to see in this cold weather and all. I don't think the maximum is above 10 today. Seeing all those trees down on a certain level, blown down, the tops of them completely blown down there. Why not take a photo with the GoPro, see how it comes out, see how the photo with the GoPro comes out and estimate it. Now we are heading back, and please may this waterproof jacket be as it is supposed to be waterproof, because now the rain is starting to come down, and just this bit of rain would be enough to stuff up this other camera. What on earth do I hear? A tractor. Could it be a truck in the most peculiar places here? Tractor or truck or something. Possibly waterworks coming to clear up here, and now we've got to go over this tree which is in the way here and wasn't here on Sunday, the day before yesterday. And another tree. I love these waterproof pants I got. Not only waterproof, they're pretty warm too. And now the rain is coming down. And please let my jacket keep my camera dry, and my other little camera for that matter. This is going to be fun to test it and see. Could that truck that I heard be the one that does a little bit of work for a few days on the railway line, bring some staff, then the funds maybe dry up and they're gone for 2-3 weeks, a month, 2 months, then they're back for a couple of days again. I don't think so. Well, there we have a heap of trees down. Do you hear the rain coming down? Let me zoom in here. Don't know how noticeable it's going to be, but heap of trees that are down there. You just clean this lens, and there, plenty of trees down after these winds we've had over the past week. Off and on, gale force winds. Rukwinde. I'm not going to be professional and not clean this lens. Like when I say professional, put your finger in front of it and clean it. I'm just going to clean it. Otherwise, what's the point? Nice and drizzly weather to get your camera wet, unless it is under your waterproof jacket. Jeez, I know you're not going to be able to see this on the GoPro, doesn't it? It's not going to show you. But there, heap of trees down, heap of trees. I think it could be interesting going for a walk in there too. There at the bottom, nice and fresh white marks on the stems there as they've broken. I don't mind the pine trees falling down. That's not a loss. The problem I have with this section there, with that particular section, is this invasive stuff that's taking over in the place of it, which is even worse than the pine trees. I'd rather have a couple of pine trees where I could move freely under and go and camp under, as I've done at the cliff. Nice soft blanket for the pines that lie on the ground there, and that's impossible now with the invasive stuff. Geez, trees and trees and trees down there. Now we've got blue gum trees coming up here, which are still standing. There, off standing still. Of course, there's been photos of trees down in town on the local town group. Now we in the forest where the trees protect us a bit. No, decent photo with the sun shining on it, on the snow, out of the question. Now I could see the heavy clouds moving in, and they're going to be in to stay for a while, only to bring us 2 millimeters of rain if we're lucky. Bring some bloody rain, man. Ons het die reën nodig. Wens ons kou front kry wat net ordentlike reën bring vir 'n slag, en dan binne 2 dae oorbeweeg Oos-Kaap toe. Ordentlike reën. Ek soek hy 40, 50, 60 millimeter. Dis wat die stroompie soek, en dis wat die dam soek. Maar nou ja, tot dusver is hierdie winter eintlik maar net hoofsaaklik mislik as dit kom by uitstappies. As dit kom by slaap, dan doen die winter my die wêreldse goed in terme van my gesondheid. Ek slaap baie lekkerder in die winter as in die somer, want met my neurologiese probleme en die kortsluitings wat ek kry in my epileptiese brein, hierdie skrikwekkende, haaglike splitsekonde kortsluitings, is onbeskryflik. Die goed. Jy voel asof jy in 'n elektriese stoel is. En dit gebeur elke keer. Dit is so voorspelbaar. Dit gebeur elke keer wanneer ek gaan slaap. Net wanneer, maar nie elke aand nie. So dis onvoorspelbaar. Totaal en al onvoorspelbaar. Jy het nie 'n benul wanneer dit gaan gebeur of nie. Net wanneer jy jy sit jou kop nou op die kussings. Nou maak jy jou oë toe, right? Nou wil jy gaan slaap. Okay, my oë is nou toe. Nou gaan ek slaap. Maar jy is nog nie aan die slaap nie. Jou oë is toe, maar jy is nog nie aan die slaap nie. Of sal ek sê, jy het nog nie aan die slaap geraak nie. Maar daai oomblik wat die brein oorskakel van wakker na aan die slaap, is daar 'n kortsluiting. En dis oorgenoeg om jou wakker te maak. Voel asof jy in 'n elektriese stoel was vir 'n splitsekonde met hierdie drade om jou kop. The death penalty. En dan staan jy maar op, want jy is vragtig nie lus om nou weer te gaan slaap en dit weer te ondervind, en dan bly jy wakker tot 2, 3, 4 in die oggend. Ja, ek kan die fucking story uitwerk nie. Hulle het nie vir my gewaarsku, maar ek dink all in all, as the Englishman says, was dit steeds die moeite werd om die operasie te gaan doen. Hulle het my nie gewaarsku oor die skade aan die senuwees aan die linkerkant van my kop nie, van my gesig nie. Daarvan het hulle my nie gewaarsku nie. En hulle het my ook nie gewaarsku oor hierdie moontlike kortsluitings nie. Hulle het vir my gesê, jy sal miskien 'n psychiatrist moet gaan sien, psychologist. Ek dog toe, wat? Dis nou voor die operasie. Maar is baie professionele mense, die 2 professors in Grote Skuur. En ek sê toe, well, okay. En as hulle so sê, dan gaan dit moontlik so moet wees. En ek is natuurlik 'n bietjie mal. Echt nie mal nie. Nie mal nie. Net 'n bietjie anders te miskien na die operasie. Mal is nie 'n baie mooi woord nie. Net 'n bietjie anders te. Interessant miskien. Maar 'n derde van my kop is uit. En loop kan ons nog loop. Ek was uitgenooi hierdie aankomende naweek ek dink is ook 'n private plaas. Nie net ek wat uitgenooi was nie, dis 'n groep. So 'n klomp mense was uitgenooi. En heel wat mense sal gaan na hierdie mooi uitstap. Klink nie asof dit verskriklik maklik is nie, maar doenbaar, ja. Maar ek het gesê, dankie meneer, dankie. Ek en iemand wat by die kafee gewerk het op 'n stadium, vat hierdie naweek af. En ons gaan 'n bietjie by die dam stap. Ons het so 2 roetes. En ons gaan sommer die langer ene vat wat so 11 kilometer uitwerk. Baie doenbaar is. Dis wat ons gestap het toe ons die Gourods George gaan stap het. Ons het 10 kilometer daar gestap. En dis oor rotse gewees en meer rotse, af met rotse, op met rotse. Saasveld, weet ek sal bietjie opdraande wees hier, afdraande daar, maar nie rotse nie. En 10 teen 1, dink ek nou daaraan, 10 teen 1 klomp bome, wat oor die paai gaan lê daar. As jy Saasveld praat die denneboomwoud. Dit sal nogal interessant wees. Maar sy hou ook van foto's. Ek hou van foto's, geen video, hier en daar. So ja, kom nie. Ek dink dit kan nog lekker wees. Net met my tikkies gekom vandag. Tikkies. Moes dalk al die boots op die einde aangetrek het. Hierdie goed bietjie afvee. Hierdie tikkies afvee. Ag, jy weet, dis wat my so mal maak. Hier kom die son uit, net na hierdie reën. So as ons nou daar gestaan het en ons kanse gevat het, waar ons nou 'n uur kon gestaan het, of 10 minute daar gestaan het, kon ons miskien 'n mooi foto gehad het van die George Peak. Fuck it, man. En hier is die son nou weer skielik uit. Die ding is van hierdie roete wat ek stap, is jy kan nie net stop, jy steen die bome. Jy steen die wou die hele tyd. So mense moet 'n hele end stap, of deur die woud, of deur die op die treinspoor, om by 'n gedeelte te kom waar jy respekteerbare foto kan neem. Ag ja. Ja, swaar. Miskien kry ons een foto hier. Net nie die foto wat ek gesoek het nie. Kom ons kyk of George Peak enigstens oop is. Nee. Ek weet nie of julle dit gaan sien nie. Hoe is julle nou? So ons kon daar gestaan het. Dat is George Peak. Ons kon nog steeds aan ander daar gestaan het en ons nou nog gestaan het en niks gesien het nie, want die wolke is in die pad. Anyway, it ain't the end of the world, man. As dit nie gesneeuw het nie, het ek glad nie vir 'n uitstapie nou gegaan nie. Ek sou ook maar seker maar soos 'n verkleinde hoender by die huis gesit het of iets. Die punt daarvan maak om sommer elke dag net vir 'n uitstapie te kom. Al is dit nou oor en oor en oor by dieselfde plek. Hier's waterwese se mense of hekmense wat daar werk weer. So ek gaan maar op rekord. Hoop julle dit geniet. I've got good news. I may very well go for another walk later, because this is one of those days where it just clears up for a while, which gives you a chance to go for a walk. Then it starts drizzling again, but if you just go with a rain jacket like I did earlier, then it can easily be done. And you could find that every clip I've made so far might be no longer than 30 seconds, because I only noticed a little while earlier when I came home that the 30-second little function was on. So you could find that every little recording I've made, talking into the camera and behind the camera, might possibly just be no longer than 30 seconds. So the main reason I might very well be going for another walk again is because I walked back earlier and I smell smoke. And I'm now like 2 blocks away from home still, busy walking home now. And I smell smoke. I thought, oh, you know what? Somebody else is maybe keeping themselves warm, just like my back neighbor
maybe just on a fairly cool day like this. Surely it can't be my back neighbor already. I mean, I'm like in 9th Avenue. Lo and behold, as I get closer and closer to home, I smell the smoke more and more. And when I start crossing my street, I notice it is from nobody else other than my back neighbor. Now, he must sit and wonder sometimes what his back neighbor, that's me, is busy doing. But then I wonder whether it's crossed his mind that I sit and wonder sometimes what he's doing if he can't even go for a walk somewhere. And I have had, it's actually happened before, that I haven't even woken up in the morning yet. And I wake up by smoke that has come into the room here. Unless I keep all my windows and doors closed like he probably does. And that is not a pleasant experience. The smoke, unfortunately with the wind, blows over into my room all day long when he has started his fire in the mornings. And that's not a pleasant experience. I often think to myself, if everybody decided to start making a fire at 8 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock or something and keep that fire going all day long as if there is no electricity for that matter, can you imagine what the suburb would look like? Now, I have not seen any other house in this suburb that starts a fire in the morning already as if it is, we're not in a country in top of Asia or in Europe now or something. It's not that cold. I've just gone for a walk, for goodness sake, man. And now you have to have a neighbor who has probably cuddled himself and themselves into the room with all the windows closed and the doors closed. Let's start the fire. It's not that fucking cold, man. Nah, I tell you cannot win. Mr. Cool, like I call him, Mr. Cool, will start this fire without giving 7 shits about it. And that is why I call him Mr. Cool, Mr. Chilled. Now, had I not, if it wasn't for all the other nice neighbors that we've got, just nice people, I would have got back at him left, right and center and made his life as miserable as I possibly would be able to. I really would. But I'm not that kind of person. I care about my decent neighbors, where he couldn't give a flying fuck. I've blocked him on my Facebook, but ironically he's started a group for security ages ago for our suburb. I wonder whether he actually gets in his car and goes for any walk or at night and does any patrolling. I doubt that. You cannot win. The problem is, throughout all the years, one can tolerate things up to a certain point until it becomes blatantly obvious that the person couldn't give a shit. Couldn't give a shit about any other neighbors. Let's make smoke. Let's cause as much smoke as possible for us, so we're nice and warm. It's not that cold. So if he's thinking for one moment, I am being difficult, then I say, just look at yourself. Look at yourself and ask yourself, are you, imagine what this suburb would look like if everybody made a fire as often as he does. There's nothing wrong with having a little braai on the odd occasion. Everybody has a little braai on the odd occasion, including myself. But there are so many other ways of doing it without making your neighbor's life as inconvenient as possible. And this goes beyond just the fire. This goes all the way to the dog as well. After more than 10 years, knowing full well that a dog that starts barking and doesn't stop can be irritating in the end. It can reach a point where you have tolerated it, and you have tolerated it up to a point where you know it's not going to make any difference what happens. Only thing that keeps that dog shut sometimes is if I take a spade and I moor it against that wall. that maybe gives him a bit of a fright, and then they get the message and they try and do something. But he has clearly developed this attitude that he couldn't give a flying fuck about his neighbor anymore. So anyway, after all of that and feeling 10 times better now, the result is that we might go for another walk just now and get away from the smoke. Then I've got to keep everything closed here, so my dog's going to have to stay inside. Dude, and luckily he's an old dog, and he probably wouldn't mind too much. If he was an active dog and needed to go in and out, then we'd have a problem, because I've got to keep everything closed here. I like fresh air, so I like keeping a window open, a door open, something, if not everything open, even on a day like today. It is not that cold, Mr. Nabi, but I doubt whether he... Yeah, anyway. We're not that upset with life. We might just go for a walk just now and see. Maybe we'll get a better shot. Maybe the clouds will clear up completely, and some of the snow might still be on George Peak, and we'll take another photo. Or two. Another video, maybe.